So it looks a little grainy, but this is video 2 of Suboxone withdrawal. Sorry about that. So as I said last time, I was on 2.5 of the big orange pills, which amounts to 20 milligrams. Tomorrow, I'll be going down to 16 milligrams, which is 2 pills. I'm doing this kind of rapidly because I've gotten off of Suboxone before, and I realized that the higher ones, as long as you're taking vitamins and working out and eating right, the higher milligrams are a bit easier to get off of. I think when I get down to 4 milligrams or perhaps 1 or 2, that's when the hardship is going to happen. Right now, I talked to my doctor, and I told her, I said, hey, I'm planning to get off of this. We might want to dial my stuff back. And she said, well, how about you just do it yourself, and I'll give you the normal amount, and when you need it, or if you need it, it's there. Seems kind of like she wants me to, I don't know the economics of it. I don't know if they get paid if you do it for an extended period of time or whatever, but they are billing the VA. So, seeing me once a month doing a UA, I heard UAs are liquid gold. I think they're getting a lot of money from the VA, and that's why they're doing it. The VA didn't really do a lot of UAs unless I was, doing an annual physical or whatever. But anyways, how am I feeling? I'm feeling normal. I went down, from 28, then 24, and now to 20. And I'm feeling good. The only thing that one of the big reasons why I don't like being on Suboxone is, what if there was, an economic collapse? I would be kind of screwed, people looting, and I couldn't even use, other things like possibly kratom to help wean myself down, like I've done in the past with methadone. Methadone, I used kratom to get off, and it actually really helped. But this is a journey, and as I'm going through my master's degree program to become a counselor with a substance use disorder emphasis, I'm finding that I'm learning a lot, and I think it's actually good. Nothing against civilians or people who never had an addiction or been on medication before. Nothing against them, but those who actually experienced it and become counselors, I think they have an edge because they know exactly what people are going through. Because it can be hard, and when someone hasn't felt, I've seen people who are like, oh yeah, I got the degree, and no, I've never experienced addiction, but you don't need that to, yeah, but when it comes to withdrawal, you don't know the pain. You don't know what it's like to lose all your money when you're in addiction. You don't know all of that stuff. So I think those who have had addiction in the past, I think they make for better counselors. I honestly do. Not saying that, others are inefficient, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, if I do one every day, it's kind of going to be monotonous and there's not going to be much to talk about. So in a few days, I'll let you know how I feel after just 2. I think that I'm going to be okay. I'm just, probably going to need support when I go down to, 4 and then 2 and then 1. The biggest problem I'm having is these big orange 8 milligram pills. They're very hard to cut and get perfectly right. And so I'm probably going to have to ask for tabs or some smaller ones when I get down. And then, of course, when I have extras and stuff, I'm just going to turn that in because these things are, it's almost as bad as methadone. I know methadone takes like 3 to 6 months to withdraw. I know personally, and it was horrific. I heard Suboxone is almost just as bad, maybe even worse, but we'll see. Also, have you ever noticed when you're looking up, things like people's experiences on Google or YouTube, you get like the first 2 pages is all straight medical stuff like, here's what Suboxone is, and the withdrawal can be bad, but blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, you have no idea what it's like. I mean, they really need to, I get it, they're trying to cover their butts with, legally with showing professionals and stuff, but sometimes people need to know how bad it is and what people are experiencing. I mean, that's the whole idea of YouTube when it comes to addiction, right? To hear other people's plight and all of that. Anyways, I'm rambling, and I'll talk to you again. God bless.